Welcome here. We are just moments away. Going to be making the match here. We have a big lineup here for round one of the Western Regional Middle School Esports Conference Spring Playoffs. Back-to-back games here. 4:15 Truman JV, 4:30 Marsh Junior High School, and at 4:45 we have Truman Varsity. Stay tuned. All right, here, folks. We're just getting ready here. Want to say it's good to have everybody on the stream so far. If you're from Truman Middle School, it's awesome to have you and to be able to display this. Congrats on a good season. And we are pumped to be here on the same pitch with you. We are proud as well. It's been a heck of a journey here for both teams so far. Truman Middle School in their first year with their esports program, and they have seen a tremendous success, and it's been awesome to celebrate that with them. So we have a little bit of a Albuquerque match forming here that might have a potential to maybe even make it a rivalry here one day. So, you know, playoffs are pretty simple in round one. If you win, you advance. If you lose, you're done for the season. And, you know, it's just awesome to even be in the top 8 for the playoffs, facing potentially, you know, for a top 4 spot out of 29 teams in the division, ranging from California all the way to New Mexico, all the way up to Alaska. If you're in the Pacific or the Mountain Time Zone, we've probably played you. And so this is going to be kind of a celebration of our esports athletes. We have some quality players here today. We have Hamsty and we have HK. We have Thrilla. These players are really getting better by the day. I think it's impressive to see where they started off in JV. There's a threshold between the ranks, and the ranks determine your ability. And so, JV is in that middle area, and it's kind of a breakout zone. Some of these players started off fairly low and then were able to really just excel. I know Hamsty, for one, said, man, I wish I would have played over the summer. I would have been champ, and I'm like, oh man, but you're so close. All of a sudden now you're diamond. And so HK, all of a sudden now I'm diamond, and Thrilla now kind of pushing that plat, really trying to work hard. But this blue squad is just a pretty strong squad. And I got my co-caster here, Mr. Lego. Tell us a little bit about Sky Blue. Yeah, fair enough. You're listening to Lego, captain of the Cibola High School Esports Rocket League squad. And he's right, there's a lot to be said for whatever happens next. I mean, especially when you're getting better in Rocket League, if there's a place among all avenues to display your skill, it's in the competitive zone. It's when you are playing another school. I mean, ranked is one thing, but then there's no, this is on behalf of my school. I'm like, all right, if you could get this awesome play, it will be far more significant than as if it was just some random occurrence playing the game. So it's got a lot of potential here to have some cool moments. Oh, fair enough. And I believe we also have another caster with us today. Stoic Muffin, thanks for joining the show. Good to have you as well. I hope that you can join us in our adventure as well. This is going to be an excellent afternoon of gaming. You can't hear me? Ah, I see. Oh, we'll be all right. One second here. Just talking with a few coaches. Make sure, Lego, we can get confirmation that they have made the match. Maybe in voice channel 1. No worries. We are being patient. This is what we do in Scholastic Esports. We show some flexibility here as we work with schools. That's what's great part about kind of running our own esports conference with all these teachers is they're all like, oh man, I understand. Hold on, I got you. I'm communicating with my kiddos. Like, this is all kind of internally done. We got Discord. We have all these things. Okay, we will remake the match and we will get this going. Could you guys tell us a little bit in the meantime about your high school playoffs? Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean that would be really difficult. They are an extremely talented team. Very good. Yeah, I even had one of my former students who's an 8th grader who was like at about my level, and then all of a sudden he's playing, and I'm talking about Piggy. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I'd love to see my former students kicking butt. All right, we're going to get into this match here. All right, and we're off here. Game number 1, and fans are saying they can't hear anyone but me, so we will figure out what's going on with that here in a bit. Meanwhile, we're just going to get started here. I'll figure out the internal audios here in a second. Game number 1, and
yes, that's sad.
It's going to get started here. Sorry for the delays on everything, and we are off. Right off the bar and in, and that's going to get an early lead for Truman as we go live.
As you know, I think the gears now.
Let us know in the chat. Holla if you hear me. Is that what
yeah, they can hear us now.
Let's go.
Wait, they can hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you now.
Oh, bad.
We're all good.
All right, let us know who you're cheering for in the chat. Keep it respectful, keep it clean. All these athletes have been working hard. This is an all-year sport. I mean, we started in August, Brandon in May, and I'm not stopping in June or July. I mean, we gotta continue on. So, Thrilla thinks the same way. Thrilla now going to Eisenhower Middle School, kind of a traitor, but we still love him. Raptor at heart. But you switch schools, you got to figure out where your alliance lies. And right away, it's just continuous pressure here. Back and forth play. It's really about what mistake you make, right? Not necessarily about what the play is going on. It's who's going to capitalize first. Zero.
So you're telling me that Thrilla plays for JMMS now?
Oh, well, no, but he had to switch. He had to make a transfer. So, playing most of our season with us, then having to switch schools must be tough. You're going to finish off the season with us. Thought that's a good move.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds way better. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that's nice. He's like, Coach, got to finish off the season right. I was like, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, fitting in fairly nicely with HK. HK, an 8th grader from James Monroe, who not only is bilingual, super smart, and awesome at pulling off some pretty tricky mechanics. We also have Hamsty, who you can guess has a hamster and has been playing since 6th grade. Started on mouse and keyboard, now is a diamond player and becoming a leader here on this squad.
What grade is Hamsty in now?
7th grade, so we have some quality players hopefully trying to fight for a varsity spot next year, trying to be champ level or above to be in probably the top 5% of the country at their age group.
Oh.
And HK with 2:28 remaining. Aerials into that. I mean, that's a tricky shot, right? I mean, what's required to make that type of play?
You need precision, you need really good eye and hand coordination, and most of all, you need speed.
Need lots of speed.
Because if you just hit that thing with a low speed, you're gonna barely tap it, so
Speed is everything.
speed is key. I've learned that from a YouTuber, Jacksepticeye.
Wow. We're glad you're with us here. Let us know in the chat, who are you going for? And what does this mean to you here? Esports middle school. We're going into the playoffs here. Top 8 teams out of, I believe, 29 or 27 middle schools across the Southwest. Sky Blue entering the tournament 6-0, undefeated in the regular season with some Game 5 wins, and that is a huge goal.
Let's go, HK.
Walk us through this, gentlemen.
Good shot.
So HK, he beats defender, and he notices that nobody's on the backboard, so he just takes the opportunity to just air dribble it in. I like that.
That's a wild shot there, and the equalizer at that. All these games are going to be close. You know, my students throughout the week, you know, are these players good? Are they going to be good? I was like, yeah, they're going to be good. Like, anyone making it to the playoffs is going to be pretty good, you know? And, like, okay, like, I'm like, you should be nervous. Like, I am nervous. Like, I'm like, does it help that they're good? Like, no. So I think it's great, you know? Oh, it's going to make it a little bit awkward. Can someone capitalize?
Oh.
What should each squad be thinking about right now with about a minute and a half tied? What are some strats?
It's like
Not sure. I think they're playing pretty fine right now, honestly.
what kind of shots would you use at this moment?
At this moment, I feel like we could probably play a little bit more aggressive.
You know, are we keeping the pressure? Are we backing off? I see that the play has drastically changed in the last couple minutes. You know, it was kind of a fumble around. Popcorn was popping in the microwave game.
It's a takeaway.
Showing off with the airstrike. Gets a nice clear that actually causes... no one back, right? Obviously, we were talking about that push, right? Maybe now all of a sudden you start pushing more and you realize, oh, well, how come that person wasn't back anymore? Like, well, we're trying to be more offensive-minded.
Yeah. You can't. I learned, SLK. You know SLK, Harvey.
Yeah, top 100 player.
Top 100. Yep. Don't know how he did it, but he's really good at the game. But he said that the best defense is offense, and I was finally able to get that when I was always just pressuring people, and that's when I just started ranking up in threes because I was always passive.
HK not taking a passive approach. Aerials off the wall, passes it mid.
Oh, no one's mid.
AG, oh my goodness gracious, off
awkward.
the bar down.
It's awkward.
Is it gonna? It's in.
Oh, you already know it's in. There's no way that's
Look
not
at that.
in. Gorilla's
Excellent shot.
making sure that people know his name when he goes to EMS.
Say my name. Hamsty. Shot missed by Hamsty. Unfortunately, not saying his name on that one. HK trying to cut in, finishing the game strong.
Wow.
What a game.
Hokey pokey.
Was they were down 0-2, right? Or was it 1-1 and then 1-2 and then 2-1?
Oh man, you were testing my memory on that one. I'm gonna have to really think about that. 4-2 is the score on this. HK with 2 points on the board here. A
2
goal
points.
each. Yeah, I'm just thinking about hockey terms. I can't help it.
Points.
I know. And
Wait.
I'm telling you, Jimena, same thing. We're gonna use the right terminology. We'll say 2 goals here. But I don't see one player being extremely better than another across the board here. So this is actually a pretty good show. I could see, in a best of 5, how it evolves pretty quickly. Who knows what's going to happen in game number 2?
Maybe HK just absolutely pops off. Maybe Venom turns into Venom, just a big, scary blob monster,
You never
or
know.
a syndocyte. What is it? What are they called? Syndocytes? Something like that?
That sounds sketch. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Talking about some dark terms. Yeah, so today's leg day, but I was like, you know what? We'll exchange Thursday. We'll make Thursday a leg day instead of today. Gotta get the casting in. Gotta make sure. Gotta support the middle schoolers.
That's right. Gotta show the vertical alignment, they say. What a shot right off the bat by Truman Middle School, who, to be honest, has a lot to prove here in the second game. They have a lot of momentum on their side. Raptors hoping to try and defensively take
Truman, right?
Say that again, sir.
Thrill is going to Truman.
You're going to Eisenhower, where one of our former teachers used to be from, Mr. Adam Kuhn. What a shot. Knows we're talking about him. And in honor of Hamsty wearing the wheels of doom, little hamster wheels. Little hamster wheels it could. Once a week we get about a picture or 2 of Hamsty's hamster, just to get an update.
Yeah.
Just to get an update. And I think we're on number -127 or something. We started this random chain.
I think it's -36 now.
I have a feeling it will never go away. We're going to go into the thousands. Wait till some 6th grader joins next year who's just uncontrollable and he gets it up there. He's going to tally it up real quick.
Oh, he's gonna he's gonna do something.
We've learned a lot this year, not just as a group but individually. Thrilla teaching that guy a lesson, but you know what? Truman playing outstanding here, showing a lot of offense, so it's going to take some strong defense here to keep Truman off, and they have been putting some significant pressure on the Raptors. It looks like in center field, so some control of the walls and out might be the opening, but Truman playing significant defense. Many players trying to break that 100 mark on the points. And we're a minute and a half in.
Hey, HK, the
HK,
cave. Bro, this man's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
I used to coach that man.
Makes it happen. The bilingual beast. Vertical Venom going off. Now, what's great about this matchup with Truman and James Monroe is it's just great to see the development of APS Esports. I think it is in its infancy. We're seeing a lot of innovative schools doing this, and I think that's kind of the cool part about watching this and having the staff at both schools celebrating their schools right now. It is pretty cool. I can see that when they go to Cibola, more kids go to El Dorado or La Cueva or wherever they go, you know, there's going to be esports there. This is not like what happens now. This is part of a program. You know, we want to build out the scholastic piece of this. You know, we want kids casting and scripting and, you know, helping with the show. And we have lots of viewers even today who have helped already, like Saskersky. We have people who have been helping out with the stream and designing graphics, and people helping out with the connections. It's been great. It's a community that I think a lot of people don't realize how. Whoa, look at this shot.
HK,
oh, block.
Okay.
What are those? What are those? What are those?
Oh, another bouncer shot.
Are you kidding me?
Truman!
It is not gonna go in.
Truman's playing out of control. The defense is insane. HK doing some wild moves.
Oh my gosh.
Gentlemen, what is going on?
I'm speechless. So
Yeah.
Truman is playing out of control. I mean, they have this like this power with them. They're able to just. Oh, look at this nice touch by Vertical Venom from Truman. Truman in orange, by the way. James Monroe in blue. HK pops it up, touches it. Nice touch. Thrilla looking to do something. Can't keep it under control, but it's just enough. And here's a lot of pressure. Well, like again, all three committed on that.
like I said, or like I'm telling you, offense is the best defense.
I do feel that way, right? I mean, you can't shoot that shot if you're not there, right?
I just shot my shot.
I mean, this ain't like Rumble.
Bruh.
You can't just like all of a sudden, you know, just shoot the ball with like a Mike Tyson boxing
you
glove.
can just.
Coming in HK, this is a hard shot and not enough. You have to control those. It looks simple, but I always shoot those into, you know, into no man's land. Both squads playing pretty careful here. With 41 seconds to go, you know, really the game's not over for any squad. Vertical makes a good play there. Rural with 200 points, one shot, one save, playmaker here. You can tell with the Cristianos, like, oh, so he plays. Like, all right. Rural getting a chance. Gives HK a little bit of love. Says, I'll see you next game.
Oh man, just
Empty
the pressure.
backflips.
JMMS has on. Oh, the pass? If they have to
All right, rule is to keep it up. You know, rule number, what, 2 of Rocket League? What's rule number 1?
Like,
That's the question.
rule number 1 is don't break rule number 1.
Rule 1 is to not break rule 1 in Rocket
Yeah,
League. And
nobody
that doesn't make
knows the
sense.
term.
If you know what that means in the chat, let us know. If what is rule 2 then?
Don't steal your teammate's goal when it's a wide open net.
All right, what's rule 3?
Don't double commit on. Yeah, just don't double commit.
Well,
all right, what's rule number 4?
When you're near the ball, don't fake it, especially when your teammate's still rotating back.
Okay. I need to work
I
on
don't
rule
know.
number 4.
uh,
Come on, man. You know, it's just, that's how it is sometimes.
true.
All right, we're in game number 3. Truman needing to really put on some pressure here. And honestly, I think the games keep speeding up. It might be in the favor of Truman. They got to keep that pressure up. Now, we do see from Varsity Truman here in a bit, but this is win or go home. So Truman definitely looking for some aggressive plays here. Looking forward to seeing them and what they do. What's your prediction here with the game here, co-casters? What are we looking to see here? What type of play style? What's going to happen here?
I think they'll still both. Well, at least I think the orange team. Don't know the names, but the orange team is probably gonna keep pressure. However, they'll should start playing it a little bit more safe.
Okay.
There's been like many times where they've been countered. And, yeah.
I'll say something real quick because I gotta go. One of my cousins, he graduated today from Manzano, so his family invited me to go eat out with him. So
Nice.
I gotta say, Orange just gotta stick with it. Their defense just outlast. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it makes
Just
sense.
gotta outlast the riot. Alright.
All right.
Till next time.
Until possibly another round from now. We'll see. 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go.
See you though,
Game number 3.
Later, guys.
Huge demo
See you.
play later. And he leaves the set to get food. First ever on a spring playoff caster history. Going for a sweet bounce off the ceiling. Truman.
All right there.
The pass is
Rick.
thwarted by Hamsty, who makes a huge defensive play here. You know, at this moment, the first person who gets a goal is going to feel pretty good after pushing this hard about 2 minutes in.
Oh.
I said Truman, you know, they got to score here. They got to win, and they're playing like it. Truman playing pretty tough.
Good clear. Oh, here comes Thriller. Center. Oh. Almost on goal.
It is wild out there right now.
Thriller with another pass again. Let's see what happens. Oh. Both players just missed right there.
About half the game gone. It's scoreless, and it's getting to be pretty crazy.
Oh.
Huge shot. Hamsty gonna challenge. Does. Hits it off the post, and it's possibly a pass. Doesn't go back in. Knows to rotate. Gives Thriller the chance. That's great. Kind of sway there. Goes for the boost, but
That a counter attack and it's in.
oh, but you know, doesn't see that. Let's see what happens. Oh, thinks Thrilla might get that and doesn't see. Goes for boost, and that's a tough one, right? I mean, we always think our next guy has it. Our next guy has it.
Yeah.
All right.
Both of them pushing again.
It's a big
Oh,
push.
it's a nice shot.
Rick 97 not able to put it in there.
Yeah.
And HK to Hamsty. Raptors are going to need a goal, and this is what I'm talking about. Truman putting on a lot of pressure, but Hamsty vindicating himself. Oh,
Wow.
get the bump. And then he bumps it. Big bump here. And then boosts out of the play. Super funny reaction.
Yeah.
Hey, tight game. We're like, 100 seconds out here. Someone can score, or we're going to overtime, which is my favorite when I'm not playing. Love watching overtime. Hate playing in it. As a goaltender, playing hockey is always so much pressure. And this is what these players at Truman are feeling right now. 1 minute and 15, and all they need is a goal. Just one goal, one miss, one jump, another play. Thriller gets
miss. Thriller.
Wow. HK air rolling from out of nowhere. Way to be there for the team. What a pinch pass. Give him a chance. Knows not to go right back for it. Good communication from HK. Gets that boost too. All right, 30 seconds to go. Do they change it up, or is it just play hard? And
It's in the middle. And Hamsty.
Oh! Does. All right. Wow.
Oh.
You like to see that both squads pushing pretty hard, but Raptors able to push through. And Truman going to need a goal here to continue on, and they are very capable of it. Just a little bit of control here can go a long way as it goes into the Raptor side. This is what Truman does need. Can they control this breakout by HK? They do. They teach him a lesson. They demo him. Play going to the backward side up to Hampsey at this moment. Unfortunately gets tapped out of the play.
Oh, no.
With a few seconds remaining.
And it goes in the other net.
Oh, and that's that pressure we're talking about where, you know, if you're pushing 3 deep because you need a lot of offensive pressure, a simple play like that, which would normally not go in, you know, what might happen.
No. It's still possible. 4 seconds.
It is still possible, and a shot like this is not what the doctor ordered.
Oh, no.
0-second goal for Thrilla. And that is going to be it. We're going to jump into our next match here soon.
Oh. Oh, I actually have to wait. I'll see you later.
Alrighty.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Eddie, what's going on?
Oh, Dr. Harvey.
Hey, what's up? You guys want to help me co-cast here? Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you see my double tap and my other
The whole
cool shot?
audience did here. They're all watching here on stream. Good to have you on show. We're really proud of you.
Okay.
We are super excited to have you. I'm going to back out of this party, and we're going to get started here in a moment. We're going to, I think we're just about to start momentarily with the next game. Let me leave this one. And this will be exciting stuff. We'll be jumping in a back-to-back Truman set. And we're going to play some music in the meantime while you guys hang tight. Howdy, howdy. Welcome to the show. Playing a little music, hanging out here. It's an after game show here with Sky Blue. Really happy you guys played so hard. How did it go? Tell us about your experience. Oh, that's good to hear. That's a good way of putting it. You feel the energy, right? You're like, you'd have to be there to understand, right? Like, and there's a reason I don't calm up normally during your games, because it's just insane to hear you guys. Yeah, constructive. That's a good point, and I think that's very mature. You know, it's hard to be told, I think, what to do, or, you know, like, you know, what to fix. And, you know, it's like golfing with somebody, and they're just like, they always tell you every shot what you could do better. I'm like, just let me play the game. I think we're going to get to this next one as well. Hopefully you're ready as well back at home. It is time for some Rocket League. Let's get to it, folks. This is Varsity Truman Middle School versus Varsity James Monroe Middle School. And, you know, this is a brand new game. James Monroe Varsity 7-0 on the season. Hopefully I heard some feedback. If you have my stream on, if you could lower that. And a shot by Greg. And goes off the backboard. HK or Thrilla, if you have my stream on, you could lower.
I don't. That might be.
Oh, I just let's see. Truman Middle School. Yeah, Thrill, I hear it from your setup.
Well, oh, actually, I have something that I can use.
Truman trying to push hard here, trying to see what they can do. Greg pumps it down to the side and actually gets it over Truman. Not hearing the feedback. We are good, Thrill, I think, on that. We'll make sure we confirm with our viewers. And Greg, long bomb, Season 3 champ tournament winner, Varsity. No cap on the ability level here. I would say there are players ranging in the top 1 percentile in the world to players, you know, in the top 20% in the world in Varsity. And, you know, Diamond champ, Grand champ, Supersonic legend. I've never known a Supersonic Legend middle school player, but Awuzie is the closest I have met. Started playing about this time last year, and in 1 year has turned into a grand champion and has played and kind of led his varsity squad, now moving into Cibola High School after this. And what a shot! Check out this passing play, talking about him. A flick pass by Trust off the backboard. What a shot, Thrilla.
Super interesting how you can like look at a JV or a Saffron game, and then you look at a varsity game, and it kind of just blows you away, the communication and coordination that these guys have.
Yeah, like I've been playing, I probably put 1,000 hours plus into our team, you know, and into playing and stuff, and I don't have that ability to figure out how they're learning so fast. And it goes over, it carries over to their learning pre-algebra, it carries over to them learning how to play an instrument. Their learning acquisition when they play this game is so indicative of their ability to flex these new skills in creative ways. What a way of, oh, what a shot! Look at the control off of the wall. Wow.
It's incredible.
What a shot. All right. And Woozy is up, trying to make a pass out of this. Mad Alchemist, big shot coming off the side, but met by Trust, who redirects it. Awuzie pops it up once, gonna be a bounce, but no one's there because they're rotating so well that they're gonna make a big push. Let's see what Truman can do though, with 2 minutes to go. Game number one. Honestly, game number ones are always pretty wild. I would like to see, you know, what both teams are gonna be doing here in the next couple of minutes as they have now kind of warmed up to each other.
Yeah, and I, in my opinion, I think the first game is the most important because by playing in the first game, you kind of show your opponents your guys' play style. So if you guys always push, they know that for the second and third game. So they know to be not as aggressive.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's kind of the deciding of what you guys' play style is.
That's a very good point. And there is a lot of strategy going into each game. If you get a chance to apply it, you know, it certainly is helpful at the higher levels. Like this level, if, you know, you can do whatever you want with your car, which is significantly difficult enough, then once you start passing and controlling the ball, you really have the ability to control the game. I'm always trying to make sure I make good connection. I'm playing the right position. You know, these players, like you saw, are playing plays. You know, they are strategizing, and a play there, a double flip, not going to make it. A minute to go here. You're checking out James Monroe Raptors and Truman Middle School, and Diamond hits a massive banger right off the side. What a shot. It just goes flying, and another touch, unfortunately. Trust unable to carry that one and defend it out. And, you know, that was a huge clear by Diamond right there. Going to put 1 point up on the board, which is going to be super helpful. And Greg able to move it up to the wall. Thriller, those are hard because they bounce off that wall awkward.
Yeah, and it's like you have to really sit and, like, in my opinion, the only thing I think that you can be super good at and have a super good chance of hitting it almost every time is something that you, first of all, feel very passionate about. So if you like really like flicking the ball, or if you really like air dribbles, it's going to be a lot easier to get good at it because you're happy with it. You like it. And you also need to put in the time, because if you sit around in games trying to do it, it's not going to work that well. But if you put in maybe an hour every other day in training working on that one thing, then you're definitely going to get better on it.
Do you think that carries over to other, like, you know, things in school?
Yeah, because think about it. And I think it carries over from school to Rocket League, because if you're studying from something, you're kind of doing it over and over, and you're kind of looking at it over and over and studying so that you get a better understanding of it.
Yeah, homework is your training packs. Homework is your odd and even questions in math. You know, homework is you looking at the world, perceiving it, watching more videos to get better. Look at this play. A woozy 0-second goal. Truman unable to defend the final rush going into game number 2. It's going to get spicy. It's going to be spicy. We're going to go into game number 2 here in just a moment. Yeah, go ahead.
How does it feel when you look at someone like Lego or Piggy and see, like, because they were not only your students in classes, but they were also your students in Rocket League. How does it feel to see them where they are now?
Oh man, that feels pretty good. That's a good question. You know, I secretly hope whenever I'm teaching or I'm coaching anyone that they're gonna one day become something far more significant maybe than I have, and somehow that's going to be really cool to reflect upon, you know. And so, like, at the moment it makes me think of how hard I should work, because it will make me feel better in the end knowing I at least tried my hardest for every kid I had. So, like, let's just say I see like Momo on Cibola, or a Woozy and what he's done, or Mateo. You know, a lot of these kids are even my own students who just thought this is a cool thing, like I think this would be a fun way to spend my time, and then found a lot of meaning behind it. So, you know, a lot of my players are like, oh, well, you know, I play other sports. I'm like, that's awesome. You should. You better play football. You better play basketball. I mean, and all of my varsity players here all play another sport. You know, Mateo, huge into basketball. A Woozy, star football player. We have Greg, big baseball player and soccer player, excuse me. And then we have Mint, who's a huge baseball player. And so, everyone has time. Like Mint couldn't be here. He has baseball practice. I'm like, that's fine. We have a sub. This is what we do. We roll with the diversity we got. And I think that's what makes esports stand out so much, is definitely this sense of like equity and diversity. Like, oh, well, I have, in Sky Blue, like I couldn't make it. I got jujitsu. And I'm like, that's cool. Like you've told me in advance, like let's work with your coach, and they're like, oh, certainly. This is awesome. So I don't know. I mean, do you do anything Thrilla besides esports?
So I used to be on a basketball team, but now I just play it for fun because since COVID, it kind of shut down. But I do think it's nice to play a sport because, in my opinion, I love doing things with other people. Because I used to dread school, but when you have like something like esports practice or a game or any kind of practice, whether that's basketball, baseball, soccer, football, you look forward to that. You try and do your best and have the best day you can, so that at the end of the day, you're really happy and looking forward to that practice.
That's a good way of looking at it for sure. Back and forth play here. Trust getting a goal for the Raptors, which is, wow, Woozy reads that one. I'm not sure what happened. I don't think I could even blink fast enough. Almost like a save shots wide actually deflected off of a Woozy 8th grader and then back in. Truman going to want that one back, and that's all right. We're early on into this game, about halfway. We're going to see what happens. The game is half over, not half done. Oh, come on, Woozy trying to pop up. Thrilla, what would be going through your mind here as a player? I mean, you've been in these positions before. I mean, what are these players feeling right now?
I mean, at least for me, my feeling is, I'm kind of stressed because I know if I mess up, I know my teammates aren't gonna get mad at me because everyone makes mistakes. But I know I'm definitely going to push myself. If I mess up a shot, I'm gonna push myself to do that shot and make it better. And normally in these situations, I'm kind of really stressed. And in today's game, in one of these situations where I passed it and I missed it, and then Hamsty missed it, and then HK missed it, and it was a tied game, and I was kind of just getting super stressed. I got so stressed that I started sweating.
Yeah, I feel like that's the craziness of it. Like, is it just, it really is a serious thing.
And when you progress in kind of the ranks of Rocket League, you go from, maybe when you're in bronze to making decisions in like 30 seconds to when you're in, champ or diamond or even plat. You're kind of you're making those split-second decisions that kind of decide how the rest of the game is gonna go.
Yeah, well said. What a play! Thrilla, do you see this before your eyes?
I do. It's actually crazy.
Steven.
I just imagine how excited these people are in their VC.
Oh, and the VC's probably going crazy with the loudest anime music, with just screaming positions and where to go. What an attempt on the double tap. But I have to make a comment on the last play. It was a beautiful hit to the left side, and then a mid-air pass redirect in by, I believe, a Woozy. One of the better goals I've seen here today.
Yeah, definitely. There's, I can't, in my opinion, I'm horrible at deciding what's better in Rocket League. Like, if someone makes a super cool aerial shot and another person makes a super cool flick, I can't decide which one's cool or not, because I know that takes a lot of effort to put in, either one you do it. It takes
Correct.
a lot of effort and time to put that in.
I agree. So it's just like, People have their own flavor. People have their own style they appreciate, and that's respectable. Truman pushing here, playing speedy, and playing that post side. Jimena coming in, shoots it wide, gonna be able to block that one, and Trust unable to get it by. Truman Middle School showing some tremendous success. Remember, like, not only did they make the top 8 in JV, they made top 8 in varsity as well. That's why it's awesome that we're actually getting a double header here. It's not just because we're playing their school. They earned a spot here like us, and I thought it was pretty cool to see how many New Mexico teams made it in that final 8. Definitely a really cool thing to be proud of for APS Esports, to see Truman Middle School, to see Academy, to see Eisenhower, to see George I. Sanchez. I mean, these teams are playing super well. And I even saw teams in the division this year from LBJ. I know Desert Ridge Middle School is getting their teams up, and there's even more on the way. And so there's more games to play. We got a game right now, Thriller. Let's jump into it. Game number 3. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we are about off. Woozy going right away for a full-length aerial across the pitch. Trust able to knock that back in, though. And Truman coming out very aggressive with an early demo on Trust. Let's see if their play style changes. Raptors do enjoy trying to control that field, but it's not always possible. Greg taking a shot approach instead of taking the wide ball, and Woozy stands by. And, you know, close call there. You know, it could have been saved, but, you know, that happens. It happens. Truman down by 1. They're going to be all right here. Let's see what happens. Hoping Truman can get an early goal here. Love to see a tie game go into overtime. 1-1 is always a great score to me. I know that the fans all want to see more Rocket League. So do I.
Yeah, and you know, whenever I watch either pro players or any Rocket League match, I love when the score is tied and it just goes into overtime. And at that point, it's just a show of who has the most skill. And I think that it's always like that. But I think it always shows, because if you're in a normal game, you're not really looking for who has the coolest shot. You're looking for who has the most points. But in overtime, any shot is cool, because you basically essentially win the game.
Yeah, good point. Essentially, any shot is cool at that point. It's very well said. Co-caster Thrilla, would you mind getting a score report from Voice Channel 2? So we can see how Saffron is doing.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you very much. Oh, big demo by Alchemist, putting that offensive pressure to kind of die down a little bit. Once you get a demo, that's pretty good from Truman. They can kind of control that momentum as much as they can on the 2v3. And you spawn back after being demoed after a little bit. This could give Trust a chance. Off the backboard, reads it, does, and it's a beautiful... You want to know what geometry in action is? You watch Rocket League. Watch this read. Mid-air, knows when to jump, boost, feathers the car, tilts it, far upper left, 2-0. About 3 minutes to go. Game number 3. We're talking varsity Truman Middle School versus James Monroe Middle School. Round 1 of the Western Regional Middle School Esports Conference. 7th and 8th graders right now pushing it. There could be some 6th graders, obviously. Just speaking on the James Monroe team. Truman Middle School, I am not sure of their lineup, but you can tell by their players that they are highly skilled and that they have some serious talent.
Yeah, I just got back from Saffron, VC. They are tied 2-2.
Oh boy, the series couldn't be any closer. We have a back-to-back-to-back series. This evening. And, this game could go to game 4. We might just have to leave this game and check it out. Are they in game number 5? What a shot by Greg. Holy moly.
I do not know it. Let me go ask what game they're in.
What a shot. Wow, Greg redirects that off the wall, putting it in the 7th grader. A lot of things to be proud of.
Saffron just won. They won the series. Apparently that was their 3rd game.
Okay, good news coming out of Saffron. Winning their game in game 5. Like I said, all of these matches are going to be extremely difficult because these players are all really good. Score aside and all, you can just tell the way they're all playing, their mechanics, their game sense. It's hard to sometimes fathom because if you haven't played the game, you don't understand how hard it is to drive that car just as much as, if you haven't been on ice skates and you watch hockey, you're just like, oh, well, that's crazy. I'm like, have you been on ice skates? Let's add that to the fact that now they're doing all that stuff you see. And these kids right now are pulling off stuff that, like, you would see people do with, like, an expensive drone plane that you would never, ever, ever dare doing.
Yeah, and I started playing as soon as I heard tryouts were a thing. And my dad had been playing for a super long time. And I know I got a 1v1 him a couple times. And I was just in awe in what I thought was an amazing play when he flicked the ball. And now that I can do that, I'm just astonished how far most people have come. Like you said, Awuzie had started playing, beginning of this year, and now he's, probably one of the top players.
Oh yeah, after we got training from Valor Esports and a top 100 player, I did a podcast with them, and they said, hey, we'd like to offer this program. Here's what we got. My players really got better. I got to the point where I couldn't teach them anything mechanically. It had to be up to somebody who was better, and so we found that help. We got that help, and I think that made the difference. Positioning's one thing, doing your research, but then having someone who can just show you how to just dribble that ball like that amazing shot by Awuzie. Taps it once and puts it in. What a shot by the 8th grader, trying to leave this season and never look back. Going into high school, going to be a highly rated player. Can't wait to see the future for Awuzie, as well as his athletics in the traditional sense of football and anything else he chooses to play. And another attempt. Final 12 seconds here of the game. Truman looking for a big goal here.
Yeah, and I do think that, the last seconds of the game is probably the most stressful, because even if it's, you're ahead by 2 points, if someone makes a kickoff goal and then makes another goal, the game is, you've essentially just tied it up. And I think in most cases, end game is probably the most stressful, whether or not that's a huge lead or not. Any end game is stressful.
Oh, last second goal attempt catches Awuzie off guard, and that is what I'm talking about. That's what you want. Truman's like, yeah. So shout out to Truman. Shot out to Truman. Pun intended on that. Great last goal on that. Raptors going to take the series 3-0. Congrats to Truman for an awesome display there. Diamond, 361 points, 2 saves. Playmaker, Mad Alchemist, 158. Aqua Diego, 108. Good job to the teams. Really happy to see that program, and we're looking forward to more games from them next season. Until next time here, folks, want to appreciate everything. Thrill Up, how should we end this stream?
I don't know. I don't really stream, so I have no clue.
Guess we're just going to have to give them a good old sign out. I tell you what, for all of you watching, for all you teachers out there, for all you principals, for all you players, for all of you who make esports not only possible, but something that we think about, I want to thank you for watching. Share this video. It's a pleasure to celebrate all of the hard work that our players are putting in. We're very proud of Truman,